Al. Al, introduce yourself.
Alan Worms.
And what did you do, Al? How do I know you from?
Gosh, we met a long time ago when I was at Freeloader with Mark Pincus and Sunil Paul.
100 million years ago.
100 million years ago. And then I
started a bunch of companies.
Including Participate.com, which became Participate Systems.
Mm-hmm.
And then most recently I started Buzz Tracker, which I sold to
Yahoo.
Yes.
And you went over there and you were running news, correct?
News, tech, and education.
Right, and you've since left.
I left Yahoo in December after my earnout.
Now, Al is one of these typical entrepreneurs, not from Silicon Valley, he's from Chicago, but explain what your new company is, because I think it's really exciting.
The name of the company is Appolicious, Inc., and Appolicious, Inc., excuse me. And what it's really about is how do you find mobile apps you love. There's about 70,000 apps out there right now. We believe going to 1 million. Really difficult to find them. The problem's going to get real difficult when there's 1 million apps out there.
Mm-hmm.
We think the key to finding apps you love is not just reviews and not just great search, both of which we have, but really about what do your friends, what are people you follow.
So you're combining sort of Twittery, Facebooky, social with discovery of apps.
Yeah, we're trying to crack the mobile social graph so that you can quickly find apps the way you find them in real life, which is your friends tell you or somebody at school tells you or what have you.
Right. The apps, the iTunes store right now, it's only for the iPhone. You're going to launch this site first, and then you're going to add on other smartphones.
Yep.
So what's wrong with the the iTunes store?
Well, first of all, there's no way to find out what your friends have, what your friends own, and what your friends like, what your friends don't like. It's completely anonymous. Second of all, the store, is very, very slow to find stuff. The search isn't terrific. It doesn't give you enough information about any individual app. Our site is very, very heavy on recommendations. A key element of the site is that we automatically, with the press of one button, import your entire app library so we know what you own. Then we know what your friends own. We know how you rate your apps, what you think about those apps. We combine them into our proprietary algorithm and say, hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? It's a much better experience for somebody who doesn't have a lot of time.
But you also have news and reviews yourself.
Yeah, we got 2 editors.
You point to other reviews.
Right. We're launching with 500 stories of our own. We're going to be producing stories on a very, very regular basis, and we're linking to anybody else out there that's writing interesting stories about apps. And
so you have 2 editors doing that, too.
Yep.
So you have sort of regular news, recommended kind of things, then you can see what other people have.
That's right.
And then you go right to the App Store to buy it not buy it if it's free, necessarily.
That's exactly right.
Where do you see mobile phones going? The smartphone, obviously you're banking this business on that idea of apps are here to stay. Not a lot of people are going to make money at apps, necessarily.
Well, we think the paradigm's going to shift a little bit. This isn't about independent developers making money at 99 cents a pop because the value of a hit is very, very small. We really think the great example right now is the Benjamin Moore color capture app. It's about corporate America saying, I want to have apps to reach my most valuable customers when they walk into my store, when they're thinking about making a purchase. I want to be able to leverage all the functionality of an individual mobile device, not just the web functionality, but the camera, the GPS. I want to know where they are. I want to know where they've been. And I want to use that in a way to help provide value to them and fundamentally value to me. And we think that's worth hard dollars. And companies are going to pay a percentage of those dollars to get customers to adopt those apps.
And to define them, for example. Like the Benjamin Moore one's pretty cool. It's called Ben, and you point the camera at the color and it finds.
Right. You point it at the wall. It takes a picture and automatically tells you what the actual name of the color palette is.
Right, like Mango Sunset or whatever.
Exactly.
I want the job naming colors, by the way.
I think you'd be great at that.
Thank you.
So how valuable is that for Benjamin Moore?
Right.
For them to have that app out there, for people to be in there, especially when you compare it to their competitors. And in fact, we're actually co-producing a conference September 23rd in New York in conjunction with Ad Age called Apps for Brands, where we've got a lot of people speaking. Bob Bowman, the CEO of MLB, is going to be there.
But it's not just for apps that are for companies. It's apps that are people like, that have fun games and things like that.
That's right. It's going to be, but when you ask about the monetization of this thing, I think it's going to come from corporate America who says, I want people to have my apps. And my personal belief is that most apps are going to go free. I realize that right now, most of the best-selling apps do cost a little bit of money.
Right.
But my belief is the prices are going to go to zero.
And you're only doing iPhone. What are you going to do? What would be the next smartphone?
You will be the first to know.
Oh, I want to know now.
Sure.
You're going to go to the others. They're pretty small. Those groups are pretty small, right?
Well, the big market share leaders in the smartphone area are BlackBerry.
Right.
Obviously, Google with Android is very big.
But a lot of the apps are the same. Whether they be on...
Many of the apps are the same. We think the experience can be different. And we think the key thing is which amongst your friends are using what apps, and how can that help inform you what apps are great.
Right.
For which of those apps are great for
Any
your
comment on Apple's controversies around their app stores? Or you don't care?
Well, I care, but I think they've got a lot of the criticism and everything else that's pointed at Apple strikes me as kind of the the natural criticism that goes to somebody who's the clear leader, who's got
right.
so many people adopting their platform.
The fascist dictator of apps, for
it's
example.
very hard to scale, right?
Right.
I mean, they've scaled from, 0 to, how many downloads? 1.5 billion downloads, 70,000 apps for a company that's really a hardware company.
Right.
So, I mean, I think people are pretty satisfied based on the last quarter numbers of how many people are buying Apple phones, and I think it's going to continue to grow.
So you think apps are here to stay?
Absolutely.
Obviously, your new company is all apps.
I'm betting on the
macro. Say Appolicious one more time for me.
Appolicious.
Excellent. Thanks, Al.
Thanks, Gary.